gentlemen, it is the most wonderful time of the year with Apron Work Podcast. It's Apron Work Podcast, and it's the most wonderful time of the year because it's WrestleMania week. Just want to spell that out for everyone. It's your boys, Rest Pass, Peach, and Walt. Peach is not here.
Shocker.
Rest Pass, how are you?
I am wonderfully tired.
Oh, man. I like how now I'm just, basically, just going real fast through the intro when it's just you and me. I'm not, hanging around on it anymore.
Hoping Peachy will give some type of tidbit. He's not here.
Yeah. I might be able, so I was just telling you beforehand, I'll see Peachy this weekend. We're going up to the Ring of Honor New Japan show. So I'll see him. I'll get his predictions. I'll try to bring a microphone so we can record the entire experience for the listening. I will say, when we do a WrestleMania wrap-up, I would like to discuss how the show is. Because this will be my second or third Ring of Honor show I've been to live.
Okay.
First time at Madison Square Garden, so really
excited. You meant how this show is.
Yes, exactly. But it is WrestleMania week. We are recording the Wednesday. It's Wednesday morning. Jesus Christ, it's been a long week.
Wednesday morning, yeah.
The Wednesday morning of WrestleMania, and we basically have a card as much as we can. So we're going to split it in half. Rest Pass, I sent you matches, but I also I balanced it out. Mostly, this one will be most of the Raw matches.
Yeah.
I think. Yep. Yeah, no, there's no. Yeah, but with the way the card is set up, it's weird. There's a lot of cross mingle. Maybe not on the Raw side. Yeah, not on the Raw side.
We had the same issue last year.
Yeah, but before we get even started, is there a match you're most excited for?
I wouldn't say a match. I'm actually weirdly excited for this card.
It is.
If I wanted to go back, we did our predictions of the road to WrestleMania, and I wanted to go back and hear what we said, and I never got the time to. But we predicted a hell of a lot of multi-man matches.
We did,
and there's a lot of singles matches on this card. I mean, it's a way complete 180 from the way the card was last year.
But yeah, it was. I'm surprised with the amount of singles matches they are doing.
Yeah.
But I'm excited. Probably, obviously the triple threat women's match, which we will discuss on tomorrow's episode.
Yeah, and the SmackDown one.
But I'm excited for Triple H Bautista. I'm really excited for that. When they teased that earlier this year, and then didn't think it was going to happen because Triple H got hurt, and it's still happening. I'm really excited for that. That was a match that I almost bought tickets to WrestleMania for. So
yeah,
but
yeah, on the ones we're talking about today, I don't know that any of them jump out at me really. I mean, I'd like to get excited for Reigns McIntyre, but I think I almost think it's going to be Reigns. Well,
let's jump. Let's do that one first.
Yeah.
So we're discussing most of the Raw matches. So let me actually pull up our spreadsheet so that I can write down what our predictions were, so we don't have to go back and remember what they were.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
But yeah, so go ahead. While I pull that up, go toss Reigns McIntyre.
Let's start off Reigns McIntyre. I feel like it's one of those matches that probably could steal the show. I think it's kind of under the radar with Reigns being out for a while and everything like that. I hate to see McIntyre lose because I feel like they can get him on a roll, but I think the chances of Reigns losing his WrestleMania match after everything that happened is slim to none. I don't care who he was wrestling. So I'm obviously going with Reigns winning this match. But I'm hoping they give it a little bit of time. I don't know where Reigns' cardio is, how long his match actually can go. And maybe that's the point of having him against a McIntyre, is it can kind of turn into more of a brawl.
Oh yeah,
a lot of outside spots without really needing to do a whole lot in the ring.
Yeah, I think this match is definitely going to be just a brawl type thing. So I got Reigns winning too. Say it's basically the Daniel Bryan thing from last year, where there's no way he's losing when he probably he shouldn't be back or anything like that, but like, you know, he's recovering from the cancer stuff. There's no way you can have him lose, and it's Reigns at WrestleMania. There's no way you can have him. Well, sorry, that last year he lost to Lesnar.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
If anything, I'm happy they did not shoehorn him into the title match. I'm happy that they just he's off doing his own thing right now at a WrestleMania match.
And I'm happy about it being a singles match. That is one thing I do remember when we were predicting the road, was I assumed there was going to be some type of weird, like, Shield reunion, but Strowman was going to be with Dean Ambrose and Reigns, you know, and they were going to find some combination of Elias, Lashley, Corbin, and McIntyre, kind of. They were going to have some type of, even put Kurt Angle on the Shield team. But I felt like they were probably going to do something like that. So I'm happy to see that he gets his own match, but I'm also worried that he has his own match. Like, it's one of those things, it's going to be, it's either going to be awful or it's going to be actually surprisingly good.
Yeah, I do not know I don't know which one it's going to be, honestly.
Yeah, I don't see this being mediocre. I see this getting a lot of rave reviews or, like, cringe, like Kurt Angle in a 10-minute match cringe.
Oh, don't worry, we'll get there. So you got Reigns winning?
Yeah.
I also have Reigns winning. You want to guess Peachy? Just for shits and giggles?
I think Peachy would have went Reigns.
I think he went McIntyre.
Really?
McIntyre, I think, is Scottish.
He's Scottish?
Yeah.
No, I have... Peachy has surprised me on some of those picks. I think he'd go Reigns.
I think he would have gone Reigns too, somewhat, but I also just think he would pick Mac. But I also don't even know if he knows McIntyre is Scottish. So
that's why I'm kind of going
Reigns
with that route.
All right. Which one you want to go next? You pick one.
Well, let's go with the always exciting Andre the Giant Battle Royal.
Ah, yes,
Let's get that the hell out of the way.
We have two.
I actually want to find that list.
Yeah, if you can find it. Because I know we have two celebrity appearances in there with Colin Jost and Michael Che.
Yeah, that's excitement at its best.
I don't think either of them. I think Braun's going to win. That's like...
All right, you want me to send it to you, or you want me to read them all?
You can read some people off. I don't care.
I'll roll down the list.
So I think it was announced.
You already said Jost and Che, right?
Yeah, hold on. It was announced too that both the women's and men's battle royal are going to be on the kickoff show.
Yeah, and that's not a shock.
No, but
they've been doing that for years. Even when it wasn't the Andre the Giant Battle Royal, they've always had some type of battle royal in the pre-show.
Yeah.
So we got Braun Strowman, Andrade, Apollo Crews, Titus O'Neil, Tyler Breeze, Jinder Mahal, No Way Jose, Bobby Roode, Chad Gable, Kalisto, Graham Metalik. I don't even know how to say the other one's name. Was it Lindsay Dorado?
Lindsay Dorado, yeah.
Okay. Bo Dallas, Curtis Axel, Heath Slater, Rhino, Victor, Connor, Ali, Shelton Benjamin, Luke Gallows, Carl Anderson, Matt Hardy, Jeff Hardy, Otis, Tucker, and EC3. So those are your participants in this year.
So I'm going with Braun just because it's Braun. And
yeah,
did he win it last year?
Who won it last year? Was it? No, Braun was in the tag team match last year.
Oh yeah, that's him and Nicholas. No, Matt Hardy won it last year.
Matt Hardy.
That's right.
That was Hardy Wyatt.
Yeah, when Bray came back.
Yeah.
I don't know. I could
years ago.
I could see possibly Andre I can't even pronounce his first name now.
Andrade
Cien Almas winning. But I also don't want him to, because nobody has done anything with the...
Yeah, I almost feel like I would love to see a Bo Dallas win this. Just let it be for what it is. This is not going to be push somebody into the spotlight. Just let somebody who can at least be kind of funny with it
win it.
You know,
Yeah,
win it. Yeah, I don't know. But
just say Braun and get it over with.
If I'm really picking, no, I don't want to pick Braun. I think it's the easy way out, and I don't know that he's going to win it. I don't know. Was Rey Mysterio really injured?
I think so.
I don't know if he's really injured, and part of me is wondering if you'll end up seeing Andrade replace him at WrestleMania if he can't go. So that's why I don't want to go Andrade, because I feel like he might be a backup.
Which would be awesome.
Mysterio can't go. So with that being the case, I'll go with Ali.
Makes sense. They've been pushing him pretty good.
Yeah, and this will be a way to kind of keep momentum on him without really doing a whole hell of a lot.
My backup was going to be, and I'll mime it for you.
Yeah, he was up there.
I mimed DC3.
For those of you that can't see the video portion of this feed. Yes, EC3. He was close. I know they're pushing Apollo Crews, which means he's definitely not going to win it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Braun's the safe bet. I could see Jeff Hardy winning it the year after Matt did, but I'm sticking with Ali. I don't even want to back up. Ali is who I'm going with.
I'm cool with that. I think Peachy would pick Braun just because he probably doesn't know who's in it, and he just knows Braun. So
yeah, I think that's a safe bet. I think any match Braun's in, he's probably picked him to win. So
yeah. Since you brought up Ali, let's stick with the cruiserweights. You have Buddy Murphy versus Tony Nese for the Cruiserweight Championship.
Yes.
I got Buddy Murphy winning. This is going to be on the pre-show. I don't see Tony Nese winning it just because it just doesn't make sense to me. Plus, I think your next Cruiserweight champion is going to be Kushida. So I think he's going to be ringside at this match, or interfere in this match or something like that, or he's going to be and I'll bring it up if we talk about NXT stuff, he's going to be your big signing at ringside.
Right.
So
is that what I have for it?
I mean, it's gonna be a typical cruiserweight match. It's probably gonna be one of the best matches on the card.
Right.
But it's just gonna get buried. Interest, even though on my fault too, it's I'm not gonna be as interested in it, even though I know how good these guys are.
It'll probably come between the battle royals, so they had all this interesting stuff happen in the battle royal where you're like, oh my god, somebody returned, or oh my god, it's Conor McGregor, or some stupid shit.
Gronk.
And then,
that's who I should have picked.
Not that I actually see him being in that match. They would not waste his star power in the pre-show.
I could see him though, because pre-show's on the USA Network.
Yeah. Okay. Well, no. But still, where was I going with this? Oh, I wanted to get into something, and I'll give you my prediction, but it's sticking with cruiserweights, and I don't know if you see me post it. And I will talk about that in a little bit, but I'm actually going to go Tony Nese.
Okay.
See, this purely because I have not watched NXT recently, and I will get caught up by the time we get to Friday. I go through spurts where I stop watching it, and then I binge it for a couple weeks. I remember they brought him to NXT. And I forget who he wrestled.
Who? Tony Nese?
Yeah. He wrestled somebody in NXT. But he came out and I can't remember if they had him beat somebody and then he started talking about this is what NXT has to offer, and then somebody came out and beat him. But I don't know. I think I try this every year they always seem to have somebody who's had the belt for a while, and I try to go with the other guy, and it hasn't worked yet, so I'll just go with a cruiserweight title change. I don't know that there's been one at WrestleMania, has there?
No.
So I'll go with, for the sake of change, and for it to be a guy that, like you said, if Kushida's going to be the next champion, a guy that they feel like they could take it off of a little bit easier.
Kushida should be the next
Nice.
champion, but I also think Kushida should be in NXT. Yeah, maybe not NXT, but...
Well, that's my pick. It's Tony Nese.
All right.
But what I really got to talk about here is 205 Live.
Okay.
And I don't know if you've seen what I posted.
About Johnny Gargano?
Yeah, it was a Johnny Gargano rumor that they're talking about putting him in 205 Live, and it's pissing people off.
Yes.
And I don't understand why. I mean, I do understand why. Don't let me get that. I don't understand why in the sense that when Gargano gets put on the main roster, he's going to get more lost than these other guys. He just is. He's not going to be Daniel Bryan. He's going to get pushed in the back just like everybody else has. I mean, Andrade had a hell of a lot of momentum when he won out. And you see where he is right now. I don't see Gargano being much of anything. I love the idea of doing DIY up there until Ciampa broke off, because Ciampa pre-injury would have kind of changed everything as far as recent NXT call-ups, I think. With the way his run has been in NXT, I think he would have been a guy that would have been able to come out running on the main roster. But I thought possibly having the DIY reunion go on for a little bit longer would have been nice. I like the idea of putting Gargano, and I've been calling for Ricochet on 205 Live for a while now. Purely because it puts eyes on 205 Live.
Here's the thing, though. My only issue with that is... it puts some, but I don't think it's not going to elevate, it's not going to elevate 205 Live to the level, and this hurts to say that Enzo did. So that's.
But if you put now, let's say for argument's sake, and I don't.
So you're putting a bunch of good wrestlers with more good wrestlers.
You put Kushida, Gargano, and Ricochet all on 205 Live.
Yes.
They all get moved to 205 Live. You're going to tell me that you don't watch a little bit more? I think right now people watch NXT more than they watch 205 Live.
Honestly, probably not.
And I tend to disagree. I think if you put what 205 Live has right now is very few characters, I guess.
It's a good wrestling show.
That's where Enzo stood out. Was even with Adrian Neville, he wasn't much of a character. I mean, outside of Drew Gulak, I don't know that any of them have a distinguishing character from the other. You know what I mean?
It's in your Cruiserweight title match, it's a good wrestler from Australia versus a good wrestler with abs.
Yeah, and that's what 205 Live is. Now, if you bring a guy like Gargano, Ricochet, and to be honest with you, neither one of them are the greatest talkers in the world. They don't necessarily have... I mean, Gargano has a little bit more of a character than Ricochet. Ricochet's just the guy... He's almost the Adrian Neville, you know? He's that... The guy that Gravity forgot and all that stupid nicknames that every guy gets every time they do the shit that...
He's the one and only.
Anything close. Yeah. The one and only until the next one and only.
Yeah.
But I think it would put eyes there. You can't keep them in NXT. NXT is what it is, and it does great for what it is. But you can't keep those guys down there. And I guess from a pure selfish reason, I would want them to go to 205 Live. Because I think they'll both get lost on the main roster.
Here's the only thing I'll say to that is, so you throw Gargano, Kushida, and Ricochet in there. You're just adding more good wrestlers with good wrestlers, and it's the same effect now. You're going to get a good match, but you really don't care about it. And that hurts to say with a Gargano and a Ricochet. Gargano is more of he's a great wrestler, and then he has the ability to tell a great storyline, but who's he going to tell a storyline with down there?
And I do agree, and that's why I think they need to build it up more than what it is right now. I think they need to purely because what's going to happen in the main rosters? where do these guys fit in the
The
main
most
roster?
interesting that 205 Live got is when they started kind of cross promoting them and had like you had what's Drake Maverick? Is that Rockstar?
Yeah.
He became the manager for AOP, and then you had Leo Rush become the manager for Bobby Lashley. Now I don't think Leo Rush is on 205 Live anymore.
Yeah.
So like that's what like
well what they needed to do with that was kind of further storylines that was happening on 205 Live, even in the smallest way, shape, or form. They needed somebody to come out and knock Leo Rush and be like, "Who is that? Oh, it's Cedric Alexander from 205 Live. He's feuding with Leo Rush." You know what I mean? Like just throwing somebody out there where at least it kind of. That's where Enzo, I think, brought 205 Live up because they used the cruiserweights more on Raw at that time.
Exactly.
And people knew who Enzo was, and he was able to come out and be his normal self. And to be honest with you, I've watched very little 205 Live, but I've watched the most I've watched when Enzo was there.
Enzo, they main evented Raw twice.
Yeah.
And like that, like the cruiserweights haven't done that. So like that's where it's like it's shitty that like Enzo was the reason why 205 Live stood out, but it was more interest. Like this sounds weird to say, it was more interesting than just constantly good wrestling.
Yeah, and that's what they need. And to be honest with you, if a certain somebody wasn't 210, I'd want him there too.
Who's 210?
Your boy.
Oh, Finn Balor.
No, Adam Cole.
Oh God, yeah, no, keep Adam Cole away from there.
I don't know what the rest of their weights are, but you bring Undisputed Era into it.
Nah, come on.
And then you bring a guy like I'm just saying, like it's tough because I see so much talent on the main roster right now not being used, and then you have this influx of guys that's going to come right up there, and Aleister Black is going to get time over these guys.
Yes,
he just is. Ricochet probably will at first, and then he'll kind of come and go. Gargano's probably going to get lost in the shuffle. And if the option is he's going to be the face of 205 Live, or he's going to sit in the background and show up every once in a while on a Raw or SmackDown, I'd rather him be the face of 205 Live. So that's my rant of that.
Fair enough. Speaking of like NXT and stuff, did you see where they're doing NXT this year? They finally announced the Philly show. Well, at least it got released.
No.
The Fillmore.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yeah, they're doing the ring's going in the center of the Fillmore. I think it's in May or June or something like that. I'm assuming it's going to get announced sometime soon, but like Fillmore on their Facebook page, like put like created an event.
Right.
So I don't think WWE has actually announced it yet.
Yeah.
So
well, we're going.
I'm going to try to. So, alrighty. So, what match next? Let's talk the women's tag team match, because this might be a quick one. It is Bayley and Sasha versus the returning Beth Phoenix and Natalya versus the Iconics, Peyton and Billy, versus Tamina and Nia. So I think the prediction for this match is more or less of who's going to win, but who is Nia going to hurt? Nia and Tamina going to hurt?
They're going to retire Beth Phoenix again.
Okay. Listen, I'm very glad to see Beth Phoenix and Natalya teaming up for this one.
Oh yeah, I love it.
I love it. It is. I wish it would have been a one-on-one match, or a straight tag team match.
Yeah. I was hoping for that
because again, like Natalya and Beth Phoenix were way past their, or I don't even know what the phrase is. It's still too. They were way past their time when they were like as a team in wrestling, because they were like actual wrestlers in the Diva era.
They were ahead of their time.
Ahead of their time. Thank you. So, but I understand why. I think it's awesome that Billy and Peyton are in it, because they're really one of the only other true tag teams I feel in in wrestling, so I would like to see them ultimately win this match. I don't think Beth and Talia are. I would like to see them win just to have Beth Phoenix get a title, but again, I don't see that happening. Boston Hug Connection for the win.
Yeah.
What do you got?
I'm going the same way. I don't want to get too into detail because a lot of what I'm going to have to say also correlates with the main event. So I want to leave a lot of that for that.
Okay.
I don't want to speak too much on it. But I will say it's awesome to see Beth Phoenix in here. And the funny thing is, I know on that Toda Bellas or whatever, I remember seeing that they both announced their retirement. And then somebody asked them a question about, and they said, well, we might return. And it had to do with the tag team titles. And to be honest with you, that's the only way I want to see them back. I have no problem seeing the Bellas come back and fight for the titles in some type of storyline, shape, or form. You give me a SummerSlam with Boston Hug Connection against the Bellas just for a couple months and then they go away. That's fine. It's the same thing as Beth Phoenix. I'm perfectly fine with them coming back because they were a tag team before there was tag teams.
Yeah.
If anything, it makes sense for them to come back and compete for the tag titles. It's kind of like the Women's Royal Rumble where it was all like former divas and stuff coming back. I was okay with it because I understood it, and it's the same thing now. I understand the Bellas coming back wanting a shot at the tag titles. So I'm using this match to kind of talk about that a little bit more. But it's nice to see Beth Phoenix in the match. I think the Iconics, right?
Yes.
They're not the Iconic duo, right? Iconics. I don't think it's their time yet, and I need Sasha and Bayley to keep the titles to make a whole lot of sense of tomorrow's episode. So
yeah.
Not that it's rocket science what I'm talking about. I just don't want to get into it today when I'm going to get into it tomorrow.
Yeah,
so.
I just hope they don't give it to Tamina and Nia. I like Nia. It's just there's a reason why there's jokes about them constantly hurting people, and it's just I don't know. It's just I don't see this changing from Sasha and Bayley. Let's go with Kurt Angle versus Baron Corbin in his retirement match. So here's a question for the predictions. I'm allowed to say who wins this match, right?
You're allowed to say
that's how we're predicting it, right? Who's gonna win? Who's going to win the Kurt Angle match?
What I'm going to say is, because I'm going to say the same thing probably. We're probably going to be on the same page with this. Predict out of them two, and then we'll make a secondary thing.
So you and I both agree out of these two, Kurt Angle is probably going to win if this is the match that happens. But the real winner of this match is also going to be Kurt Angle, but it's going to be against John Cena.
Yeah, Cena lost. Cena didn't beat Angle in that match, right?
No.
I'm actually predicting that, and I will predict this, but again, it's two separate things. Yes, I think Cena's match, and you have it written down here, possible Cena match, which I guess we can kind of make a second prediction. I guess of a Cena match if you want to. I don't know if you have a second thought, but I'm assuming this is going to happen. But I think Angle might beat Corbin. Actually beat him, and then wrestle Cena.
Oh, okay.
Or, some way, shape, or form, something's going to happen where Angle's going to win real quick, and then Cena's going to come out and say, whoa, 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 this isn't going to be your last match. It's not going out like that, Or Corbin will get himself disqualified or something like that, and then Cena will come down and, and they'll wrestle, and then Cena will beat him.
Oh, you'll say Cena will beat him?
Yeah. I'd say Cena's going to win after Angle wins his match in some way. But it'll come full circle. Angle beat Cena, and now Cena beat Angle in his last match.
So just to give kind of the viewing audience a little background. When I sent over the matches to Michael and what I wanted to discuss this morning, I said possible Cena match. It was more so because, and we can tie it into here as well, because I think we both think that Cena's going to end up wrestling Angle. But, Cena hasn't been announced for the card yet at all, which is very surprising, especially with how...
It's surprising, and that's why it makes the most sense to go in with this, because that's what everybody's expecting.
Yes.
You know? It gives a surprise to the viewing audience that's not expecting it.
But it also gives a surprise to... the people expecting it, because it's like, oh, they actually did it. Like the other, another easy example is when Ty Dillinger debuted in the Rumble, they put him at 10, and it was just like, I was very happy that they did what was expected of them to do. So, I don't like for the other Cena match. I don't know what the only other Cena match I possibly see is maybe Elias. Like maybe Cena interrupts Elias.
Yeah,
but I don't.
The only other one I can kind of think of is because I don't think he's in a match. Kevin Owens isn't in a match anywhere, is he?
No, not at all.
He's the only other one I can think of that has history with Cena that might be able to put a good match on with very little to no notice. Because he's not announced for the Battle Royal, and I can't see him not competing at all.
The only way, the one thing, my one thought was, so the one match not announced yet is the Raw Tag Team titles. They're not on the card yet. I could see Dash and Dawson coming out, maybe doing an open challenge type scenario.
And you get Zayn and Owens.
Zayn and Owens back, and they get the titles. I think that would be a good kind of return pop type thing, especially in New York.
That's true, and Owens has been a face recently, so that would make a little bit more sense.
Exactly. So I think that could possibly be one thing to happen, but again, I think that might happen on Monday night, because right now WrestleMania's card's 15 matches without a Cena match or an Undertaker match.
Right, and that's if there's an Undertaker match. Yes,
we'll discuss that tomorrow. I didn't send you the list for tomorrow. We'll discuss that tomorrow.
You did not.
But yeah, no, this is Angles. If they just keep, I would be more shocked if they just keep this just straight Angle Corbin. And it's just like it's not going to be a great match either way.
Yeah, the funny thing is I don't hate Corbin like a lot of people do. I actually think he plays his character to a T. I think that's why he gets so much hate. He plays what he needs to play perfectly.
He does that really well, but the problem is, this is just like, this isn't the match we wanted.
No, and it doesn't. You don't let a guy like Angle, and I know he looks awful in the ring. To be honest with you, he's looked bad in back in TNA Impact his last few years. Yes, he looks awful in the ring, but he's not Jeff Jarrett. He's not Road Dogg. He was a top guy.
Yeah.
And had he stayed with WWE, he'd be up there in the ranks of the way we talk about.
Do you think
maybe not quite Austin and The Rock, but he'd be right there at that next Triple H tier.
Yeah.
That's where we'd be talking about him as had he stayed with WWE. So to make him go out in a match like this without it being his idea. Now, if he had come around and said, I want to put over a guy like Corbin, he's been doing great work, let us finish the storyline. But I feel like that would have come out already. It
wouldn't have been presented this way. If it was going to be, if they wanted to do okay, I want to put over Corbin, it would have been similar to how the Triple H Batista been built up, kind of like, I want your career type thing, and then an Angle lose, and that kind of his retirement. It's almost similar to Michael's Flair kind of thing, to where Angle's not voluntarily saying, oh, I'm retiring. My last match is going to be Baron Corbin, so I can put a bow on that storyline.
Yeah.
That storyline makes more sense. The fact that it's Kurt Angle choosing his opponents, opponent to say, I want it to be Baron Corbin because I was like, that doesn't make sense. It does make sense, but it doesn't.
Yeah, exactly. And that's like you said, if they wanted to actually make a storyline out of this, could you imagine week after week, Kurt Angle's announcing, I'm going to wrestle Shelton Benjamin. Okay, they're going to wrestle. Shelton Benjamin comes out. Baron Corbin beats him down before he gets to the ring.
Exactly.
Then the next week, AJ Styles, Baron Corbin beats down AJ Styles before he comes to the ring. Just every match. Kurt Angle does not compete in a single match, but he's supposed to. He's picking out the guys he wants to wrestle, and he never gets to wrestle a single one of them. Or they get in the ring, and Corbin causes disqualifications. He affects each and every match. And then Angle's like, you know what? You want a piece of me? Fine, let's do it. The way they did it, like you said, it doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
And if this match goes on, I'm really, really confused. Like, it makes the most sense to put Cena in this match. Like you said, they have not announced them yet. You don't need any type of storyline to go with him and Angle. It makes sense.
Yeah.
It all makes sense. So just do it. Like, I don't know. I don't get it.
So, essentially, if this match stays Angle-Corbin, you're saying Angle wins?
Yeah, I can't see Corbin winning it. I mean, I guess I can see Corbin winning it, but that'll just be even more confusing in this whole thing. If this does actually become just their match, Angle has to win.
Yeah, especially with who he's beaten the last couple weeks.
Yeah.
So, but I also think if it turns into an Angle-Cena match, I see Angle winning that match as well.
I'm going Cena.
Just because it's not like the Corbin thing to where it's like, oh, let me put over this younger guy. John Cena doesn't need it, and
yeah, I don't think Cena needs it, but I think, like you said, puts a bow on the storyline. I think it puts a bow on Angle's career. I mean, guess technically Cena's career, but
yeah,
that's one of the earliest memories you think of. Is the whole Angle challenge and John Cena coming close, and I could be like, all right, well, Cena, I finally did it, kind of thing.
Yeah. So alrighty. Yeah. So for me, let's talk about this match, and then we'll talk about essentially the two big matches. Go. Oh.
Well, before we get into them, if Cena, we actually just did that. I said Owens. Never mind. I'm sorry.
Yes.
I forgot. I forgot we kind of mixed that in there.
Yeah.
Never mind. I'm sorry. Sorry about that.
IC Championship match. Finn Balor versus Bobby Lashley, and we are getting the Demon with his tongue hanging out, which looks goddamn stupid. Did you see that promo from Monday?
No.
Oh, it's bad. It's like basically Balor's on screen, he turns into the Demon, and he's just like wagging his tongue out like a dog. It's just like, what the hell are you doing? Finn Balor's winning. I think they basically took the belt off of him. Like, if Bobby Lashley wins, it completely ruins the entire Demon character that they sporadically use. And I don't think they're pulling the Demon character out in order for it to lose at WrestleMania.
Yeah, I think if the Demon character loses at WrestleMania, it's to, like, one of three people.
Undertaker, Lesnar, and Triple H.
Probably Strowman, I would think.
Yeah, maybe
if they're building him back up as a monster.
Yeah,
Strowman's another guy I could see, but outside of those, I don't see any reason to have the Demon lose at any event, especially WrestleMania.
I think this is also going to be your opening match. Actually, you know what? I don't. No, never mind. I don't think so. Because this is the Undertaker syndrome right now. Is WrestleMania starting at like 5 o'clock or something like that. So like, or it goes on at 7. It's going to be light out still. Like, remember when we were talking about like Undertaker Bray Wyatt at 31 in San Francisco?
Yeah.
Like, it was still light out during their match, and it just made it weird. So like, I think this one actually might. This would have been my until I'm thinking of it now. This was
not to jump on matches from the other side than SmackDown, but this will probably be Joe U.S. title match. They'll start with the secondary title match, but it'll probably be Joe Mysterio as long as that match is still happening.
I think they'll go a little bit bigger.
Orton Styles,
possibly, or Orton Styles or Reigns McIntyre.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think Balor's gonna win this. I hope the entrance looks cool. I hope they do some. I hope he doesn't wag his tongue. Like, I hope they. It was weird, man. It was really weird.
I did see somebody reference his tongue, but yeah.
What was it? I hope he does like a unique body paint. Like, remember the one he did for Takeover Brooklyn? The first one, he had basically like a Statue of Liberty on his back. Do you remember that body paint?
Yeah.
I hope he does something like that. But do you have Baylor winning?
Yeah.
Okay.
You can't have the Demon lose, not to Lashley anyway.
Exactly. And here's the thing: I like Lashley. I like him. I like him with Lilo Rush. Like, I think when he's not like showing his butt as his thing, I'm cool with it. Like, so. Alrighty. So that was a quick one.
Yeah.
All right. Let's do Triple H Batista. Again, match I'm most excited for. Triple H career's on the line, which sucks because to me it's okay. Triple H is going to win.
Yeah, I was of the mindset Triple H was going to win anyway, and then you put his career on the line. I don't understand needing that stipulation. Like, I guess the thought is Batista's coming for a one-off, he's going to win. But wrestling doesn't always work that way. A lot of times the guy that comes for the one-off doesn't win.
Exactly.
You know? So I'm already in my mind, like, is Batista going to stick around after winning? Probably not. Does it make more sense storyline? They can run with any type of storyline with Triple H still continuing after beating Batista if they wanted to. So it already makes sense for Triple H to win, and then you throw this on there. Unless they're trying to find a way to kind of get Triple H out of the ring for a while and just stick with, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's not like people are, no offense to Triple H, and I was always a Triple H fan. It's not like people are begging for him to come back in the ring.
I enjoy seeing it. I enjoy what's the Triple H match going to be at these big events.
Yeah, I like it. I like the idea of him being the Vince McMahon match. You know what I mean? Like, I get the him and Batista lore and everything like that, but I want to see somebody fighting with the Authority. Like, I want to see Kofi Triple H. You know what I mean? Not obviously I want to see Kofi wrestle Daniel Bryan, but I'm saying, like, I could have seen that come out of it, like Triple H siding with Vince, saying, no, you're a B-plus player, and almost reliving the whole Daniel Bryan thing over again, where Kofi had to beat Triple H first to even get to Daniel Bryan.
But I
like
this match just because it's I don't want to say an old school match. It's just like, all right, it's two legends. They're fighting at WrestleMania. Like, there's already a backstory. You didn't need much of a build up. Like, there was like 2 weeks of build up with this or something, or like a month, maybe a month.
Right.
But like, you didn't need all that. Like, there's no titles on it. It's just a match for fun, for older fans that appreciate it. Plus, it brings in new fans because Batista's Drax, and that's the thing that surprises me most about this is with Avengers Endgame coming out in like less than a month. Batista is wrestling at WrestleMania. I'm surprised the studio is letting him. Like, listen, he's not advertised for the movie. If you saw the first one, he's not advertised for the second one. But he's probably going to play a part in it.
Does he come out as Drax? That's the real question.
No, I think they are. They haven't really mentioned that. That's not part of the storyline at all. If he comes out as Drax, Triple H has to come out on a school bus from the chaperone. But I'm excited. Like, I think this is going to be a match. This is going to be the match I want. Like, it's not going to be a great wrestling match. It's just going to be a big brawl match where they beat the shit out of each other. But I think it's going to be good.
Do we see Ric Flair?
I was about to ask that question. Yes.
Yes,
I think so.
I'm still butthurt. I want this to be a triple threat.
What, with Orton?
As much as I like this Styles Orton storyline, I would have loved to see this be a triple threat with Orton and Ric Flair be some type of special guest referee or enforcer or something like that in the match. I think it would have been a lot cooler, just from my point of view. But yeah, I can understand what you're saying. It's the same thing as us wanting Angle and Cena. They didn't need to build up towards it at all.
No.
Undertaker match for the last 10 years has not needed build up. It makes sense why they're doing it, and it makes sense this whole Batista Triple H thing. They've slow played the shit out of it with only a couple appearances. That the SmackDown 100 episode or whatever,
1,000
with him, the 1,000,
that set it up.
Yeah.
Now the setup. Now here's
really
the thing. It would have been. I think there would have been a different setup if Triple H didn't get hurt.
I tend to agree with you.
But I'm also happy with Triple H got hurt because the setup for this match was brilliant. Because it was the Ric Flair birthday thing. There were rumors going around. Batista's backstage. It's like, yeah, no shit. He was part of Evolution. Like, if they're doing a legitimate Ric Flair birthday celebration, yeah, if Batista's around, hey, yeah, he'll come to Raw for that.
Yeah.
Maybe.
And it was right around the time that Becky Lynch.
Yeah.
Like, it would have made complete sense for Becky Lynch to come and attack him.
Exactly.
Like, you were expecting Flair to get attacked just by Becky Lynch.
And then it's Batista. And Batista dragging Ric Flair out of that locker room. Like, that image is, like, it was incredible. It was beautifully, it's like one of the best storylines built up for the thing. And there's been no build up.
Right.
We got a great meme from it, and Batista yelling, "Give me what I want." That is brilliant.
That is the measure of an anticipated match, is how many memes come out of this.
And then even last night on Raw. Oh no, this is Wednesday morning. On Monday Night Raw on SmackDown, Batista was there. He just said, "Triple H, kiss my ass," and then dropped the mic. I was like, in his hometown, brilliant.
Yeah.
So this match is it's going to live up to expectations, and it's the expectations I have. This isn't going to be a wrestling match. It's just going to be a brawl, and I think it's going to be exciting. I just hope it doesn't get too much time.
Yeah. Have we predicted this match? Yeah.
I said Triple H.
Okay. I didn't know if those were actual predictions. Yes, I have Triple H.
I figured. I already had you down.
Yeah.
So, alrighty. Lesnar Rollins. I got Rollins.
This one's a toughie.
I got Rollins. I think they're finally learning. I think they're going to get the belt off Lesnar.
See, it's so tough for me. It really is, and it has more to do with the rest of the card than it does this match.
Because I'm assuming that means you see a lot of title changes happening.
At least two major title changes happening, and I have a hard time seeing this one also change. I want to see Rollins win it. I want to see Rollins defend the title against multiple people. I want to see him eventually defend it against Reigns. Like, I want to see the storylines that can come out of it. Purely because I know I'm going with the other two.
You're saying Lesnar?
I gotta go Lesnar. I have to.
Here's the thing.
A lot of it has to do with when the match happens on the card and stuff too. That's sometimes I hate doing predictions without, like, if they were to announce what the order of the night would be ahead of time.
Yeah.
And I know they never would, because I know sometimes matches, even spur of the moment, get flipped depending on time restraints and all that other shit. So I know they would never do that, but if they were to show us right now what the order would be, this would be one of those matches. It really depends on when it shows up on the card.
I agree. Like I think we've always said that if we knew the matches going in, it would be a lot easier to predict what's going to happen.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I got Rollins just because I think, like, I just don't. I don't know. Like, here's the thing. It's the same. These are all the same arguments we had last year with Lesnar Reigns, and Lesnar walked out.
Yeah.
And so it's the exact same argument that I'm having from last year, to where it's just like, they want to get the belt off Lesnar, have it like more prominent, but it's just like, why? Lesnar's been their most consistent champion other than Owens.
Yeah. And
like, and that's no offense. That's not trying to knock Reigns. Like, he couldn't, prevent what he had, with the cancer stuff. So,
yeah,
like, it's Yeah.
Yeah, it's one of those things. It's tough purely because if Lesnar's going to stick around, what is he if not the champion? You know, like what?
Right now,
what kind of storylines come out of it? Are you gonna wrestle? Is he gonna wrestle a match randomly against somebody where Paul Heyman comes out week after week and he shows up once or twice throughout the feud? When he's the champion, it's like, all right, well, he doesn't have to be here. He's the champion. He's the marquee name.
Well, no, they had they had that storyline of doing stuff like that built years ago. Like when we were at WrestleMania 32, his match with Ambrose.
Right.
Like, he wasn't the champion. Lesnar didn't need the belt then. And, like, they were able to build that kind of storyline without the belt because they didn't build him up to this point as this completely dominant champion. Like,
and that's my point, is where he is right now.
Yes, exactly.
And they're not going to knock him down just to bring him back up later. They don't know how long they have him for.
Yeah.
And that's the biggest problem. You know, he might be going next year. So you're trying to milk every little bit you can out of him. So to kind of, you almost need him to be away from the title a little bit, away from the ring a little bit, before that he's bigger than the title thing kind of comes back.
Yeah.
And by the time that comes back, like, you almost need him to just give up the title. Like, I think that's their way out to be able to continue to have him in matches. Him just to come out and just be like, I don't need this anymore. I proved what I got to prove, and just drop the title. I'm worrying about UFC. And then have him come back and be like, nah, I'm just coming back to beat down people. I don't care about the title kind of thing. Outside of that, I think he needs to be in the title picture. And it sucks.
Yeah.
It sucks because you don't know how much longer it's going to be, and I don't think they know how much longer it's going to be, and that's why he continues to hold the title.
Yeah, I don't know. I would like to see. I am happy though that this match is not the main event.
Yeah.
That leads me to where it can go a little. It could go in both directions.
Right.
Because you can have kind of what happened last year with Lesnar winning, everyone really pissed about it, and just walk off. Or you can have Rollins win, but it not be like the main storyline that Lesnar lost.
Yeah, see, and that's where, like, if this comes on next to last, I think Lesnar absolutely wins.
I agree.
And that's where, like I said, if I see the match breakdown, then you see, like, you give me, like, a Kofi Bryan, Rollins Lesnar, then women's triple threat. If that's the final three, you know what I mean? Like, I think it almost spells out who's winning each of those matches a little bit easier.
Exactly.
Than if you were to move Bryan and Kofi earlier in the card, you know, and shit like that. So I think, it really depends on when these matches are.
Yeah. Either way, yeah, I think even without knowing that, I got Rollins. I think
there's more scenarios, personally, I think, where this match could end up in the card, there's more scenarios that sees Lesnar winning it than Rollins. As much as I want to see Rollins, this is not I want to see Lesnar win it. It's purely, I want to get more right than you.
Yeah.
And I think that
we have a lot in common so far.
Yeah, outside of this and the Cruiserweight, right? That's probably the only two. And Cena, Kurt Angle.
If that happens.
Yeah.
And then the Andre the Giant one.
Oh,
but that's a toss-up.
Yeah, I think last year I went with 2 surprise entrants, so
let me see.
It's unlike me to win.
I'm looking up the things from last year.
I know I went Maria Menounos to win the women's. I do remember that one.
You went with Dolph Ziggler for the Andre the Giant. In it? I don't know.
I don't even remember if he was announced for it when I picked him. I don't know that he wasn't. One of us had somebody that wasn't in it, and it might have been Peachy, to be honest with you.
Peachy had Samoa Joe. I had Lars Sullivan.
Was it you that didn't? Lars Sullivan wasn't in that match.
He was not.
It was you were the one that didn't have somebody in it.
Yes, I was.
And then I had Maria Menounos in the women's, and she wasn't in it.
Correct.
Yeah.
So, alrighty. So that is the Raw side, kind of the Raw side of predictions.
Yeah.
For this one. So, hopefully, this will get edited really fast tonight when I get home from work and get it out there as soon as possible.
Yeah.
But if not, you'll hear it when you hear it. We'll have
You'll hear it the day after
after WrestleMania. You'll hear it before our reactions episode.
About 12 hours before the reactions.
Yes. So we'll have one more episode at least with the SmackDown predictions, and we're trying to get it in an NXT predictions as well. Just time is not our friend for this season of prediction recording. We've both been busy, but yes.
I've had a whole change of schedule that is making it a little bit more complicated. And I like beer. Exactly. That's why I was. And we're still spending hours upon hours looking for Peachy. Yes. It's been tough. Again, I'm gonna find him on Saturday. So, alrighty. Anything else you want to add to this side of the card? Out of these matches, which one are you most excited for? That's kind of where we started with this. Reigns and McIntyre. To be honest with you. Well, I started overall card. I'm just looking at the matches we predicted here. Yeah, and I went with just this side when you started with the overall card. Sorry. That's what I said. I guess technically what I'm most excited for is to hopefully see Cena and Kurt Angle wrestle. That's what out of all this whole side, if I get that out of these matches, I'm happy. Yeah, it's a little insane to think. God bless you. It's a little insane. Thank you. I muted my mic so nobody heard it. So okay. Well, Walton sneezed. Okay. But yeah, that I mean, a lot of these other matches, you know what you're getting out of it. But I would just love to see Angle's last match be against Cena. I agree. I think that's what everybody wants. So yeah, I'm excited for Triple H Batista out of this match, and I think overall, just because I like that they give us the little nostalgic flair. You see? Yeah. You see what I did there? Flair? Yeah, flair? I did. Man. Yeah, I think my 3 most excited for matches is going to be on the SmackDown side. So, probably, maybe. I forget what's on the SmackDown side, honestly. Yeah. So, alrighty. I got nothing else. So, listen, thank you everyone for listening. Catch part 2 of WrestleMania predictions sometime later. Maybe catch part 3 as well. TBA. But I got nothing else. Catch you guys next time. Have a good one. Enjoy WrestleMania week. Enjoy everything around it. It's the best time of the year. If you're going to be there, I hate you, and we'll be there for a little bit of it. But I won't be there. Fun. I won't be there for WrestleMania. I'll be there for Ring of Honor. You'll be in the New York area. So yeah, if you're there doing any of it, have fun, enjoy it. It sounds like it'll be fun. I'll be 3 years ago. 3 years ago was WrestleMania we were at. It popped up on my memories. Yeah, well, I'm pretty sure me posting about going to the airport in pajama pants, and I think I was wearing my old Heitzman. Yeah, you shirt. Were. Yes. I don't remember that from the post. I remember that because I had to live it. I had to live in the airport with you like that. I was one of those cool people in the airport that go in their pajamas. Yeah, nah. I'm sorry, no. So, all right, I got nothing else other than Mike doesn't know how to go to the airport. So, we'll catch you guys later.